All right. A pleasant good night to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here once again on Business Finance Bootcamp Facebook Live session. I am your host, Chantel Neal.
I'm your co-host, Shane Neal.
All right. And it's a pleasure to have you here with us again. We've been missing for a while. Yes, we have. We've been busy with school, but tonight we decided to join you all tonight to talk a little bit about your talent and business. Your talent and business. All right, Mr. Neil, are you ready for the discussion tonight?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's get down to business. Okay, so here again, Chantel Neal on Business Finance Bootcamp. And so we are here tonight to talk a little bit about your talent and business. But one of the things we want to highlight is that in these uncertain times, it is pivotal, it is important for you to have an extra stream of income. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Many times we think about our 8 to 5 and our sole focus is on our 8 to 5. But tonight we want to encourage you to think outside the box. We want to encourage you to think further along. Your 9 to 5, I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen in these uncertain times. Job insecurity, economical crashes. And so you want to make sure that you have a little extra coming in that's besides your 9 to 5. And so with that, we want to segue into our discussion, talking about your talent and business. How can you use your talent, your skills, your God-given skills to start a business? What are your thoughts?
Well, first you have to identify what you're good at. Once you identify what you're good at, then you go from there to see, how you can go about, making money from what your skill is. Not only that, you have to look at the market as well. What avenues or what can I use or what can I do to? Because for example, if you have a business, let's say you're using a skill, baking for argument's sake, you know that it may pose a challenge for you to be going around and taking your goods, right? But what you can do, you can sell online. You can sell online. So the skill that you have, you can apply to bring in income, by being creative as well.
All right, so I want to plug in a Bible verse here that says, James 1:17, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. First of all, we must understand, that our gifts and talents come from God. Again, your gifts and talents come from God. Now, how do you know what your gift and talent are? Because sometimes it's hard to differentiate what is truly your gift. Is it just a gift? Is it just a hobby? So you want to look at what are you naturally good at? What do you naturally enjoy or genuinely enjoy doing? What would you say for you?
Well, for me, I used to love tutoring. And I remember at one point I used to use teaching math, just teaching math as a way of bringing income, because that was something that I seem to have some talent in or some skills in. And so I used that to bring in income, where I would teach students, help them with their homework, teach them how to do math, guide them along. So that was my thing that I used to love and I used to find passion in doing. So I use that skill to bring in my income. So that's what I used to do.
Good. And I like that you mentioned that, because when it comes to your talent is something that comes natural. It's not something you have to go get a degree for.
Yeah.
unless you want to expand on it. Your talent is not something that you need a whole lot of training. It comes natural. Like you enjoy baking, you enjoy math, you enjoy gardening. These things come natural and you find joy in doing them. Tonight we want to let you know that let's take it up a notch. Let's see how we could make some money with the talent God has blessed us with. Now, start by listing out your skills and talents, then narrow it down to those that align with your passions. What are you exceptionally good at? Evaluate yourself. So tonight is evaluation night. Make a list of all the things that you are good at.
And just to add this, don't say you are a good baker, man. When the bread the bake and the bread come out all different kind of angle and all different kind of no. Find something that you have a passion that you're passionate about. I mean, as what they would say, find something that you can do with your eyes closed. You're so good at it. Not only that, but sometimes people will say to you as well that you have seen that you have that skill in baking because and based on what people are saying, based on what you see, you know what, man, this might be my skill. Let me use it as a means to bring some time.
Right. So true. The last one is saying, what do people consistently ask you for help with? So we are looking at ways how we could identify our talents in this first part. What activities do you enjoy that also produce valuable results? What are things that people compliment you about? When you cook, you get compliments. Girl, your food tastes good. And it's not just taste good, but it's exceptional. So these are ways you are able to pinpoint exactly what your talents are. Now, for me, I could say that I am good at speaking. I am good at, what else am I good at? What would you say I'm good at?
You're good at.
I'm good at organizing.
What else you're good at?
What else am I good at?
You're good at baking.
I'm good at baking. I don't feel like I've mastered that. I don't feel like I've mastered that baking though. Because remember.
Well, they are different. I mean, some people might be good at baking pastries, while some people might be good at baking bread.
Okay.
And so the pastries aspect is different. Some people just have the skill in baking pastries, but there are some people who knows how to bake bread and how to make other stuff. Other baked goods.
So think about your talent. Think about an area that you can see yourself in, or working part-time, full-time in, something that you won't get weary doing, no matter what time or how long it takes. You enjoy doing it. Now, when it comes to your talent, again, your talent comes from God, and so your talent is one way that you can, or one. It's an item. It wouldn't be an item.
Talent? No.
Your talent is a gift that you can use to make money. All right. So the first thing you need to do is to identify your talent. The second one now is to find a market need. Now remember, we're talking about how to use your talent to make money. So we already identify our talent. Okay, I am good at baking, for example. I am good at baking. Now you want to look around in your community, look around in your family. And I could remember I had a little baking business.
Yes.
And while living in the States, I used to bake. I used to bake bread. I used to bake powder buns. And so I had a market. I had a market for that. And every Friday I would reach out to my Belizeans that were living in Chicago at the time. And listen, I had an order list. On every week I had an order list, a list of orders that I would bake and just deliver. All right. So once you've identified what your talent is and you have concluded that you want to make some money with this talent, then you need to find your market. Who are the people that will buy from you?
Because just to add to what you say, Miss Neil, your market wouldn't have been the American people. Because it's not something they're familiar with. So right away, that's not your market. So your market would have said, okay, this is something that Belizean people are familiar. So let me identify what you mentioned. For example, for me, when I used to do tutoring, my market would have been the find students who are struggling. There's no way I could find somebody who knows how to solve math problem. But I would find students who are struggling. In other words, I would go to the schools, or I would go to the teachers and find out from the teacher which student might need help, reach out to their parents. So you just have to know where the market is. So you cannot, once you identify your market and how to get your product out, it helps a lot
Of
to
course.
bring
And
success.
tonight we sit here as a couple who have done a lot. We have done a lot of little things, using our talents, and these things have brought in income for us. Not a whole big bag of money, but and it whatever it brought in, it was a big help. I could remember the pandemic was here. Well, not here, but I could remember the pandemic a few years ago. And so we had a little clothing business. At that time, we had to close it down because the shops could not be open. And we sat and we thought, what can we do while we're sitting at home to bring in an income? And we started to think. We prayed and we asked the Lord to show us. And we started to sell black dirt.
It was like I don't know. We just hear people saying, but we overheard people saying
were
about
occupying themselves
starting a
with
garden,
planting,
because
yes.
at that time nobody could. I mean, you were like basically on house arrest, so they had you at home. You can't come out, and so we hear people say, I'm thinking about starting a garden. So we were like, what about selling black dirt? Because not many people, and those who used to sell black dirt drive around. Not they stop coming, and we purchase what. Quarter.
Oh, yeah.
You try quarter first. You try
Yes.
quarter load of black dirt, and boy, we came up because black dirt was going well. And I remember somebody had said that the black dirt goes well with sawdust, and I knew I knew somebody who had a furniture company, and I remember reaching out to him. I went to him and I got the sawdust, and I had you have your bag of black dirt that comes out with a little 5 bag of sawdust. And let me tell you something, we take full advantage of that. At one point we sell 10 bag, one lick.
Yes, and we were selling them $10 a bag.
$10 a bag.
Quite affordable.
And then we went even further to do. We decided to say, okay, there are some people who don't know have the skill in planting. We begin to do what you call it?
We did seedlings.
Seedlings. We've had sweet pepper. We had tomato. We had the full works, garlic, everything. We had what else we had? We had cantaloupe, everything.
Yeah.
And people were buying from us like $3, and we had orange, and people were buying. So we took advantage of what the market was asking for.
Right.
And once you take advantage of what the market is asking for, definitely you can't lose.
Yes, I want to read Adrian's comment. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Adrian. He's saying, I'm grateful to be gifted in graphic design, but sadly they take your talent for granted, and because we are brother and sister, they expect it to be free of cost. So how to approach that? I'm a person who hard to say no and help as much as I can.
All right, so
and that's so true. We've experienced that a lot of times. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's wrong for you to charge for your service?
You have to charge for a service. It takes everything that you do requires time, and because it requires time, as what I said, time requires money. You can't be going around giving away a service. For instance, you can say what you can do. You might not charge them the full thing that you might charge somebody else, but your time comes with your time is something that you're using up. You're using a laptop, which means eventually you might have to use some current. So everything you have to look at, whatever you're doing, it comes with a charge. So even if you're not if you're not charging the full amount, it comes with a charge. And so what I can advise you to say is that brethren, this is my service. It's a business that I'm starting, which means it comes with a charge.
I like that you shared that, Adrian. It's so true, because you have many people who they see your talent, they see your skill, and they'll never put a little something in your hand. not thinking that you have invested time, effort into creating or offering the service. So you have to decide if you want this business to be, let me not say business, if you want this to be a hobby or a business. There's a difference between the two. If it's a hobby, then it's not something you're committed to doing. It's not something that has a plan. It's not something that you are putting a price to. It's just a part-time, it's just a casual thing that you like to do. No, if it's a business requires structure. It requires pricing. It requires, if it's a service you're offering, you are able to do market research. And so you need to decide if you want to make this graphic thing, if it's a hobby or if it's a business. If it's a business, then you need to sit down and make your business plan, come up with your price list and all of that. So when they come to you, you can say, here is the cost. But because it's a hobby, you might not know what you're charging. There's not much of a plan.
And even if you're not charging, Miss Neil, like as what Adrian put in the chat, even if you didn't give them a price, let them know, brethren, I'm not charging, but if you would like, I'm open for a little donation.
That sounds good and all.
And then,
that sounds good and all.
Because there are some people who you'll find that people they readily give that donation because now they're seeing that, guess what? He's not charging, but he's using his time.
Of course.
So I'm not charging you.
Not everybody thinks the same.
I am also open for donation, whatever you want to give.
Right. So I think you need to make it clear from the beginning. Hey, this is a business I'm doing. And this is what I'm charging. Make it clear, because if it's a business, then you have to run it like a business. It's not today I want to charge, tomorrow I don't want to charge. If it's a hobby, then that's fine. You already know that you have your way around it. Okay, so we've looked at two things already. One, identify what your talent is. And two, find out your market. Find your market. Who are the people that you'll be selling your products or offering your service to? The third thing you need to do is to develop a business plan. Now, gone are the days when you have to pay somebody to get this done. There is AI that you can use to just put in information and it will give you a general idea of what your business plan should look like. But I also want to add that Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. So as you are making your plan, you are also seeking God. As remember, don't leave God out of your planning. Even with your business, God is interested in. He is interested in every aspect of your life. So while you are creating your plan, you are seeking God for guidance and wisdom. Or anything you want to add to that?
I love what Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10 says. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Whatever your hand find to do, do it with all your might. Here we find Solomon telling us that, don't waste your skill, your gift, your talent. Don't waste it. Don't sit on your talent. If you know that you are skillful and you have a talent in doing certain things, there are some people who make some really good craft. I know of a man who used to live up the street from us, who make these ornaments, and he's still doing them because I saw him in San Pedro. And that man is skilled when it comes to making those crafts. And I think he's one of the number one person in San Pedro right now that when it comes to making those things. And I look and you can see the passion in him, So don't sit on your talent, but use your talent to make money.
It's so true, and it's so true. Your talent should be a blessing. And although sometimes you want to offer it as a free service, which nothing is wrong with that, because your talent should be used to serve. But in this capacity, serving also could also mean that you are making a little income for yourself, because remember, you won't be overcharging. You'll be fair in all you do because you're doing it God's way. So they don't have to worry about, okay, I'll be overcharged. No, I want to ask your thoughts, and for those who are viewing us tonight, what do you think about those who try to beat down your service? You do have some people that they're very good, and you have others who want to, when you present your price, they want to lower it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that something like that is God is not pleased when things that happen. Definitely he's not pleased, because it's like you're cheating somebody of wages. You're not paying what is due unto the person. When you look at the owner of the vineyard, where he went out and he found men work, he found some man, and he brought them to his vineyard and he had them work. And then he went out at another time and brought another set and another set. But at the end of the day, all of these men received the same amount. He could have said, you guys came at a particular time, you will get less than those who were there before. But they had agreed on working for a particular amount. He did not say, if you work this amount of time, you'll get this amount. They had all agreed for working for a particular amount, which means whatever time you come, you work. I still have to say this. When somebody sets their price, it is not our duty to beat them down and to try and beat them down. They know what they went through, how much they invested, how many time they invested, what they invested in getting that product to where it is. And so I don't think God is pleased when we try and beat a man down when it comes to his wages that he's supposed to be paid.
I agree. You may not know the work that went into creating the product or developing the service. So you pay the price, whatever it's called, you pay the price. If it's something you can afford, go ahead. If it's something you cannot afford, then you find someone else that can do it at a cheaper cost for you. But this habit of beating down that man's price or cost to a cheaper cost to suit you, I don't think it's a fair idea. Now, when it comes to your talent and business, a lot of times people delay because they say, oh, I don't have everything together. I don't have all the parts. I need this, I need that. Tonight, I want to tell you, start with what you have. Start with what you have. If it's a service that you're offering, offer one service.
Yep.
If you have a cleaning business, you're good at cleaning, then you can offer one service. I come in, I do cleaning, that's it. Until your business starts to grow, then you can offer carpet cleaning, because now you can afford to buy the vacuum and all the other things. So offer one service. But the point is that you are starting with what you have. Don't wait to have everything.
Yep.
Because if you wait to have everything to start a business, you will never start. You'll never start. All right?
True.
And so my encouragement to you is to start with what you have. All right? So the fourth point for tonight, remember we're talking about how to use your talent to make money or to start a business. The fourth point says start small and build gradually. Similar to what I said before. Start small and build gradually. I could remember when I started my baking business, I did a short 2 weeks course at the YWCA. Just a little refresher. And I started to bake from my home kitchen. And I eventually grew out of the kitchen because I started to make more products. Initially, I was only making one product, and that was powder buns. Those who are from Belize will know what that is. But I started with one product. And that one product I used to bake and deliver it to the shops. So I had my market. It was not a case where I had to be selling on the street side one by one. I had my buyers already. So I would deliver to the shops. and then I would collect my money. But again, I only had one product that I was selling at the time. And then I began to add on cinnamon rolls. What else I add on? I add on coconut tart. I started to add product one at a time. One at a time. Now, this counsel is wisdom because one, you don't want to find yourself burnout, and two, you don't want to be going faster than your business. Can you imagine if I had said, okay, I want to start a business, a baking business, and went immediately to get a shop to open up? My business is not at that level as yet. So you have to start from small, start from your home kitchen if it's baking. If you do barbering, cut hair from your home until you can afford to grow or afford to get a place. Any point on that you want to add?
Well, you said a mouthful there. Start off small. Try your best not to go elaborate. So there is a text. Exodus chapter 35 verse 10 says, all who are skilled among you are to come and make everything the Lord has commanded. Right? Those who are skilled, whatever skill you may possess, whatever skill you may have, use it to the honor and glory of God.
Right. All right. So the fifth point, and of course, we want to encourage you to put your comments in the chat. Put your comments in the chat so that we can read them and maybe expound on them. Put your thoughts in the chat so that we can know what you're thinking, if you agree, if you disagree. Remember, tonight our topic is about how to use your talent to bring in an extra income or to, use to start a business. I believe we are coming up on a break. Let me see if I can find that video that we want to play. All right, so we have an ad here from Quick Home. So we'll take this break and we will be right back.
Quick Homes Company Limited. With over 30 years of experience, Quick Homes Company Limited specializes in making people's dream of owning a new home a reality. We assist you with all relevant information and documentation to apply for financing from the banks. If approved, we help with choosing the best home for you and your family. We offer designing assistance, land development, and construction of homes from start to finish. Choosing Quick Homes Company Limited should be an easy and sound decision. We help our clients to qualify for quality and quick homes. In 2 months, you can be enjoying your dream home with your loved ones. Quick Homes Company Limited. Qualify today to get your quick and quality homes.
All right, and so we are back. We want to thank Quick Homes for sponsoring our program tonight. And if you know somebody who wants to be a sponsor of our monthly Facebook Live session, please let us know so that we can be able to share their ad or, if possible, just give them a shout out. Okay, so if you've just joined us, we are talking about talent and how to use your talent to bring in a source of income. In these troubling times, we see that it is dangerous for you to depend on your 8 to 5 as your sole source of income. And I say that with a passion because we've seen from the year began, so many changes happening, so many people losing their jobs at the snap of a finger. Now, I know that at times we would say, oh, you depend on the Lord, but if you can plan ahead, plan ahead. Even the Lord said, use your talent, don't bury your talent. And if it's a case where you can use your talent to bring in an extra source of income, then perfect. All right, so we've been looking at different ways how we could start a business using our talent. And the first point says the first thing you need to do is to identify what your talent is. The second point says is to find your market. Find out who are you going to be selling your product or your service, offering your service to. The third point says develop a plan. And while you're developing a plan, seek God for guidance and wisdom. The fourth point says, start small and build gradually. You don't have to open up a whole shop. Start from the front of your yard. Start online. I had an online business too, Yes, man, I had an online business. Double take. Listen, the amount of the amount of businesses we had now and still have, it's it really shows that we have and I think those are some of the things that has kept us going, because we've always had multiple sources of income. I could never think of a time when we had one income coming in, and just the thought of that gives me anxiety, because things are so uncertain. Even though we have God's promises, we are still mandated to plan.
Yes.
All right. And yes, I had an online business where I used to sell secondhand products. Yeah, online. And I used to make good money from that business. It's literally just to get the products. My mother-in-law would send me stuff from the States, get the products. I take a picture of it, upload it. The person reach out to me. I deliver it. I collect my money, and that was it. Easy as that. Easy as that. So let's move on to the next point. The next point is key. Remember, the business is not a hobby. We spoke about that earlier. The business is not a hobby. All right? It is a real business. Therefore, you need to make sure that you are disciplined when you collect that money. A lot of people, they started a business, and that business, all the money is put into their personal expense. Once you're running a business, that money is separate. You're going to take out a portion to turn over.
You got to pay yourself.
You pay yourself. But in the beginning, that money should not be touched, because the goal is to develop the business. How do you develop the business if you're spending off the money as you get it? All right? So be a good steward of your resources. Track your income and expenses. As a matter of fact, I had a whole different bank account when it came to my business, because I wanted to make sure that I am able to track the monies that I'm making and track what I'm spending to see if it really makes sense. You don't want to be putting all your energies into a business and you're not seeing anything coming from it. Then that's a waste of time. You want to add anything?
Well, it says focus on the financial discipline. You got to be disciplined. As you had mentioned earlier, pay yourself. When you get that money, you run it as though you're the boss. So you're both the boss and the employee, and the employee has to get paid. So you pay yourself. Set a wage for yourself that you'll pay yourself, and you pay yourself that. And when you pay yourself that, you take that the balance, and you start divide the balance as though, all right, I need to pay in terms of getting materials. I need this, I need that, I need for savings, and so treat it as though it's a business and not just I need to survive. No.
Right. And it should not be your only source of income, because remember, this business is just something you're doing on the side. You still have your 8 to 5. You still have your 8 to 5. This business that you're building now is the business that will help you to one day transition from that 8 to 5 to a full-time entrepreneur. I made the mistake. I could remember when I was transitioning out of teaching, and I made the mistake, and I quit. I couldn't take it anymore, and I quit the job. I just resigned. Not thinking that I had expense, I resigned. I resigned without a plan. And so I resigned, and I started to bake. But if I could redo that again, I would do that differently. I would maybe find something else just to keep the income coming in steadily, and develop that business on the side. And this is the same advice I'd like to give you. If you're thinking of one day becoming a full-time entrepreneur, you can't wait until you quit the job to start that business. You have to start that business from now, while you're doing your 9 to 5. If it's cakes, if you make your talent is cake, you're good at it. You could make it, it's nice, it's soft, and you could decorate it. Then make cakes on the weekend. Take orders for weekend. Don't quit your 8 to 5 because you need that 8 to 5 to manage your household. Your little business that you're starting is not at the point yet where it can manage your full light, water, rent, utility, what else? Internet. Your business is small. It's not at that point yet where it could manage your full household. So I'm saying it again. Hold on to your 8 to 5. And when you hold on to your 8 to 5 and work on your small business, and when you think it's time for you to transition, then you transition. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. My husband.
That was a rough one.
When I came home and I told him that I was resigning from the teaching job, no, teaching job is hard work, but it's good money. It's sure money. He was like, well, how are we going to manage? How are we going to manage? It's only one income now. I said, well, brother, I can't take it anymore. It's either me or you have a crazy woman. And so I quit that job, and it was difficult. It was a challenge. The little business was not at the point yet where it could sustain not even a bill. It was literally just turnover. And you'll find that in the beginning, when you're starting your little business, you won't have money to pay yourself. You will literally only have money just to save a little and turn over. Save and turn over. Save and turn over. So I have learned over the years, and I'm here to tell you, do not quit your 8 to 5. Hold on to your 8 to 5. Build your business on the side, and when you think the business is at the point where it can manage you, then you transition. All right? Any comments there?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so I see Miss Bev in the chat. A pleasant good night to you, Miss Bev. All right, so let's get to the next one. Point number 6. Network and build relationships. Serve others and add value. Now, what does this mean? You have your business. You have to talk about your business. How people will know that you do here if you don't talk about your here business?
Advertise on Facebook.
You can advertise
social
on
media,
Facebook,
advertise.
but one of the best advertisement is word of mouth. You have to be confident in the service that you're offering, in the product that you're offering. You have to be so confident that you are proud of it and that you are willing to talk about it. That's your little business. And I find a lot of time that people are a bit shy or ashamed of their little business. No, man. This is your little source of income. And so I want to encourage you to talk about your business, build relationship, connect with other entrepreneurs and potential clients to build your network and gain valuable insight. So again, word of mouth. Get the word out so you can build your clientele. If you do here, you need a clientele.
Yes.
If you sell food, you need a clientele. Who will you sell your food to?
Have your cards. Have your business cards.
Yes.
We can
So I want to read 1 Peter 4:10. Because remember, we're starting our business, but we're doing it God's way. 1 Peter 4:10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God, grace in its various forms. So we are called to serve, and at times service might mean that you are also making an income from it. And I don't see anything wrong with that. All right. So the 7th one, as we're winding down, you want to read the 7th one?
It says, embrace continuous learning. Develop and refine your skills.
All right. Colossians 3, verse 23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters.
Yeah.
So even though your talent is a gift, something that comes natural, there will be times when you will have to sign up for a little training to help you along. Stay up to date to what's new. You know, in business, you cannot be stagnant. It has to be you have to grow. And in order for you to grow, sometimes you'll have to do a little training here, a little training there to help you to enhance the service that you offer. So make sure that you know the basics of cake decorating. But if you can go and do a little cake decorating training class, that will take you to another level.
And then you kind of continue to expose yourself to what's happening, outside the house. In other words, I said to say this, what's happening in social media. Maybe you see people like for example, let's look at this. Andrew Munnings, the one who deals with the funeral. He was like one of the first one that I think started that.
No, there were others before.
There were others, but Andrew Munnings,
not at the level that
Andrew Munnings take up the whole funeral business to another notch, because he saw what the others are not doing, and he said, okay, they're not doing this, so I'm going to apply this to my business. And now he's one of the, if you don't mind, the number one in Belize when it comes to funeral. Everybody's reaching out to him because he went above and beyond. Because now he realized that in order for my business to grow, I need to put in the work. I need to go above and beyond. I need to look for what people are not doing. And it's the same thing with your business. When you're doing your business, whatever you're doing, for example, if you're baking bread, get the information to see, all right, people are charging, let's say, $1 for bread. And I know that I can try to bring my bread down and still be able to survive to about 90 cents, 10 cents less, and it tastes good. You see, you have to, and then sometimes you don't have to, if your stuff is quality, you don't have to bargain, but I mean, you just have to look at what people are not doing. What they're not doing, you then apply.
You feel right. You fill that gap. All right. So point number 8. Conduct business with integrity and honesty. And I want to stick a pin here. When you think about the service that you offer, I think a lot of business fall down at this point because the focus is solely on making the money. Nothing is wrong with making the money, but you have to make sure that you are conducting business with integrity and honesty. You already know, you already calculate what your costs, what you are investing, and you already know what your profit will be. Don't double, triple, quadruple the price to make a whole lot. Be considerate with your pricing, right? Again, the service that you offer, make sure that you offer a good service that when your client, when you're finished and you leave, your client can say, man, this was a good work. So as Christians, we want to make sure that we offer good service and our products are quality products, and that we are fair in our pricing, and that the focus is on service.
And whatever service you're doing, whatever service you're rendering or offering, you want that when you're doing it, that there's no sense of guilt. I've seen some people where, and I've heard as well, so there are some people who sell these coconuts, and there are some individuals who are saying that the coconuts are being they add water to them. Some people are, how true, I'm not sure, but I'm saying you have to be fair.
Yes,
there are some people who make tacos, and by the time you open the tacos, it's just one little, it's like the gravy you're getting. So like they're stretching everything. You have to be fair in everything, and especially for those of us who are Christian, we cannot offer a service or do a business like the world. We must be fair in everything that we do, because even with that, God will hold us accountable for that as well.
That's right. And Proverbs 11:1 says, dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So you have some people that adjust the scale. When you think you're getting 5 pounds of flour, it's only 4 pounds. They adjust the scale to make it, make it look like it's 5 pounds. But while you feel like you're cheating, man, you may get away with it. You may earn a few more dollars, but you have a God that's watching you. And your business won't prosper if you don't do business the right way. With fair. Honesty and integrity.
Be fair in everything you do. At the end of the day, like I was working, there was a gentleman I was working with. I would do some little side work with him while I live in the States. And he's from Belize, not a Christian, but he pays me more than fear, because even when he's giving he doesn't have change, he would give me the extra $5 and say, "Oh, that's all right," or and I was working with that church brother as well, an elder from the church, and a separate work I did with him. And if my job is if I work for $90 and he would give me $100 because he didn't have change. When I go back and work for him, he would make sure he take out that $10 and give me, So even with the way we deal with people, everything that we do, it goes back to our action. It must be done with
honesty,
fairly,
and integrity. All right, and so as we are winding down, we are now at the last point. And this one is key because when it comes to business, this one is a challenge. The last point says maintain a balanced life. Prioritize your relationship with God, your family, and your well-being. And of course, Exodus 20 verse 8 says, remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. All right, so that means that we need to balance. Even in business, you got to balance. Remember, God is interested in your finance. He's interested in every aspect of your life, even in your little business. So you have to make sure that whatever you sell for the week, you are returning his portion. You're paying your tithe because you want the Lord to bless your business. So make sure that when you make your little money, at the end of the week, you are taking out a 10% of what you made to give back to the Lord. And remember, you're also finding rest. You're resting. You're resting your body. You're resting your mind. You're putting aside a day of rest. As business can be gruesome.
True.
Business can be time consuming. I remember when we had that pastry shop, man, it was like a cycle. You lay down in the night, you get up in the morning, and you're up again, making Johnny cakes, making powder bun, making bread, making tart, and everything is freshly made. So you already know. And it was like a cycle.
And that's why the reading says maintain a balanced life. You can't done yourself for just because you want to make money. You must be able to balance everything. All right, you know that. All right, Friday I'm going to work Friday. Sabbath is coming. That's my Sabbath. And there are some who take something and break down the Sabbath just for them to prep for Sunday but you have to maintain a balanced life. As you're working, you must be mindful that guess what? I need time to spend with God. I need time to spend with family. I need time to care for myself. It has to be balanced.
The purpose of you eventually transitioning into becoming a full-time entrepreneur is to come out of the rat race. Working at 9 to 5 is like a rat race, You get up, you work, you come home, you sleep. The same thing again. You get up, you work, you come home, you sleep. That's a rat race. So there are many benefits in you having your own little business. And I've experienced it because I've been an entrepreneur and still I am an entrepreneur for a long time. I had flexibility. I was able to manage my children going to school, drop them off, pick them up. At that time as I was selling clothing. And so there's a lot of benefits with being an entrepreneur. But again, like I said before, if you're thinking of becoming a full-time entrepreneur, hold on to your 8 to 5 while you're building your little business on the side. And when you see that your little business is at the point where you think you can manage your expenses, then you transition. All right. Don't just walk away from your job and expect that your little cake business will manage you or carry you through. It won't. Many people have had to go back to work because they weren't able to sustain themselves.
True.
Okay, so any last points there, Mr. Neil?
Well, I like that the reading reminds us to balance. And some of us, when they start making money, you just get caught up in the money making. You get caught up in what you can make, and you lose the whole sight of the aspect of why you start a business. Because you can't be killing yourself and work over work just to be able to make as much money as you want to, but you must strike a balance in everything. In everything
Yes.
what you do, you must do it modestly. Right?
All right. So as we wind down tonight, I just want to review the points again. How to use your talent to start a business. The first one, let's do them one in, one out. I'll start and then you do the second one. The first one is to identify what your talent is. What are you good at? What do people say that you're good at? So identify your strengths and your passion. Things that you enjoy doing without have to being prompted.
All right. Find a market need. Once you identify your talent, where can I apply this talent? I know what I can do. Where is the market that I can plug it into to be able to get this product out?
Is it the folks at the church? Is it the folks at the gym? Is it the teachers at the school? Whatever your business idea is, think about who it will serve. The third one says develop a business plan. And remember, while you're developing your business plan, you're seeking God to guide you and to give you wisdom.
Start small and build gradually. Don't jump into you start a business and then let's say a cooking business and so forth, and by the time you know it, you rush or get on deep freeze, you rush or get this, you rush or get that, and without even start making money as yet. You start small. Get started with a cooler. Get a cooler, it's very cheap.
Start with an ice box.
That's why it's where you put the juice in with ice. Start from that until you begin to see the business grow, and then you realize I need to move up the ladder.
Right.
All right, so start small and build gradually.
All right. The fifth one says focus on financial discipline. Be a good steward of your resources. So this business that you're starting is not a hobby. It is a business, and so you have to manage it, especially the finance, as a business. You're putting aside your savings and you're making sure that you have monies to turn over. All right.
It says network and build relationships. Network and build relationship. Serve others and add value. So get connected with people. Those who are in the business longer than you, those who are doing business longer than you. Find out from them. Get information from them to see what this is the business I have, and find out how can I get the business out. Just the more information you get from people who are in the business longer than you, the more it can help you to instead of starting out that rough, where you have a head start because you're connecting, you're networking with people who already have an idea, of what it's like to running a business.
All right. And the 8th point, conduct business with integrity.
No, 7 points.
Yes, sorry. Embrace continuous learning. Develop and refine your skills. So nothing is wrong with doing a little training here and there. Remember that you want to offer the best service. And so engage yourself in a little training to help you to enhance what you do.
All right. Conduct business with integrity and honesty. Be honest in everything that you do. Don't feel like, because the clients are not seeing me, I can do what I want. The clients are not seeing what I'm doing, or I'm overcharging them, and they don't know I'm overcharging them. No. At the end of the day, God sees and knows what you're doing.
That's right. And the last point says maintain a balanced life. Remember, the full purpose of you becoming an entrepreneur, besides making money, is for you to have, for you to get out of the rat race. So you don't want to leave a rat race to come into another rat race. So make sure that you are balancing off things. You have your work hours, and of course, outside of your work hours, you are resting. You are resting. All right. So as we close off tonight, we just want to thank you so much for joining us. And of course, those who had put their comments in the chat, we thank you. We thank Quick Homes for sponsoring our program today. And of course, if you'd like to be a sponsor, just let us know. We'll be here to get your information so that we can share it in our next program. With that, we say good night.